What's up, YouTube? So, I've decided with this week's subject, which is pretty much pick our own topic. It's kind of struggling with what to do, but I figured out, hey, I just saw a Broadway play with my mom and my aunt. Why don't I give a little bit of a critiqueness of it? So, let's get into it, shall we? So, I want to give you a little background of how I was going into it. And if anybody wants to see it, Alright, so I'm a die-hard Newsies fan. And, Newsies fan meaning of I've read the book, but more so of the movie. It really became a cult following. Not kidding, it did. I think I even was one that, no, just kidding. No, but the movie I was obsessed with. I've seen more times than I could probably count. And more times than most people can count. Yes, I've seen the movie like a ton of times. So, yeah. That shows how much I love the movie and how passionate I was for it and still am. So, going into gonna potentially be seeing the play, I felt like, well, from what I was hearing from friends and from reviews and stuff, I thought, this is going to be close to what the movie is, but not too close, because, any rendition, whenever you take something and make it into something totally different, there's going to be faults and it's going to be different, as usual. I just pretty much said that. So, I came in with, this is mostly going to be the same as the movie, which is a really high expectation, but it's really hard to not have that expectation when you're coming in with like that. Well, I'm going to say the negatives that I didn't like and the positives that I did and what I recommended to anybody else or so. Whatever, you get the gist. I'm trying to do the best that I can in a 5-minute interval. So, the things that I liked about it was the choreography. I think they did an awesome job about it. Not about it, but the actual choreography. The picking the people to play certain parts, I think they did a good job as well. Their voices were pretty good as well. I like that. But not as much as the choreography. I think my top two is choreography and using, how they used the sets. If you can get the gist of what I mean by that. To kind of give you an explanation, if you've never seen any Broadway plays or whatnot, you're very limited on your set. You're very limited on what you can use and how you can use it. And you really need to figure out how you can use it in a unique way, which is what they did. But yes, hands down, I think the top number one thing was choreography. What I was upset about was that most of the music, like 90% of the music, was all from the movie. It's not like original tracks, so I was like very disappointed. Even if I was coming in thinking that it'd be the same, that was one of the things I was looking forward to. I'm like, there might be some new music. Cool, awesome. Barely any. That was very upsetting. The first part, like the first half, was all old songs, all songs from the movie, and the second half was a mix, but very little of a mix. So that's where I felt very disappointed, is that the storyline was it was basically how Newsies is, but not as, it wasn't what the movie is. It was kind of the same, but mostly different. So if you've seen the movie and you're a really big fan of it, and you're going to see it, I'm not going to deny. I'll tell anybody to go see it. It's for what it is, it's good. But if you're a die-hard fan of the movie, I will definitely warn you, it is not the same. Don't go in with an expectation of it's going to be the same or almost the same or exact as the actual movie was. But otherwise, it was pretty good for what it was. And why I think I was so upset, and how I felt the way I did, and I'm going to give this short analogy, I'm going to be over it a little bit, is that my mom explained it to me as, with Harry Potter, she's a huge Harry Potter fan. And she reads Harry Potter books, loves them. I mean, I do too. I'm kind of in the same boat as her. And a lot of times when you take a book and you make it into a movie, the movie is never up to par of what the book is. You fall in love with the book, you can never make a movie as good for many of reasons. And that's pretty much what it was to me, but in a different way. You're taking a movie and putting it onto Broadway and having to Broadwayize it. It's not easy. It's going to have to be different. But if you're so dedicated and love this one thing that you fall in love with, like a book or a movie, and they make it into something different, you may like it, but you may not love it. If that makes any sense. So, that's the gist of it. I'll see you guys next week. I'm sorry I had to go a little bit over a minute. Bye.